Welcome to Mental Injustice podcast, led by Unlock My Life. My name's Aaron. I'm going to be doing an interview today with...
My name's Mitch, and we've got a special guest, Claire. Do you want to introduce yourself, Claire?
Hi there, my name's Claire. I'm the IDTS lead nurse at H&B Hosley Bay.
Okay, Claire, we're going to be questioning today about why, what, if... And if you're happy, what would you change? Just about the prison system.
Okay.
So, what made you want to do the Mental Injustice podcast today?
Well, obviously I was approached by you guys because you do some amazing stuff within Hosley Bay. But I had the pleasure of attending a recent award ceremony where I saw you guys being given some awards.
What was the awards for?
Your work within the prison.
That was a mental health ambassador,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which we were all very proud of.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my name's Claire. I'm a prison nurse. I work within the IDTS team. So I work with substance misuse, which does cover a lot of mental health. But I also work as a primary care nurse within the prison system. And that's right, really. Been doing it for a year and a half. Come from A&E, and here I am.
Okay. Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, I love it.
Is it a battle?
Pardon?
Is it a battle?
There's always a battle within the prison system. Always.
What do you find hard working with staff or inmates?
I think staff, personally. Because you're always fighting to try and give guys a chance.
Okay.
Claire, let me ask you, what made you you said you worked in A&E before?
Yeah.
What made you want to transition to the prison system?
It was a win, really. I think, A&E was very heavy, long shifts. Weren't really going anywhere, so I thought I originally applied for a job within the prison system. I declined it the first time, and then I thought about it, contacted them and said, please give me the job, and here I am.
Yeah?
Causing chaos.
Now you're famous.
Yeah, hopefully.
Do you enjoy your challenges?
Yeah, I do, but it becomes frustrating, as you know yourself, because you've been in the system yourself. You guys, it's yeah, I think it's negatives and positives in a lot of things.
Such as? I know we're going a bit deep here, Claire, but everything, we just want to get to the nitty gritty. For you, what would be a positive that you spoke about?
Of the prison system in general?
What are you working in the prison system in your role?
I think personally for myself, is I just want everyone to succeed. Yeah. Like I really do. I think you've been judged enough. The prison system as a whole, especially within the CAT environment, I think it's really good to reintegrate back into community, and especially looking at the mental health side of things. I think it's giving everyone that opportunity that it's all right to talk, and especially looking at peer support from everyone. Like with having you guys come on board, the Unlock My Life is having. Not everyone wants to go and approach healthcare. Put in an assessment for mental health. They want to be real and keep it real and have someone else talk about experiences. And I think that's really good.
Do you find it difficult when somebody comes in and, say for instance you're busy and you're triaging and somebody comes in and wants to talk to you about their struggles?
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
So personally, I have got a very good team with Anna and Jim, as you both know.
Yes.
But they are a very small team. I personally do sit down and talk to people. My role is predominantly IDTS and primary care. However, I don't push people on the door. If I feel that they need to be triaged by the mental health team, I will go. And if there's an emergency, I will definitely go and call a member of staff down. And go from there, just to make people feel as if it's all right to talk. Like, you don't want people to be, like, something so random. You don't want people to think, oh, well, you don't care about something as small as that. But to them, that could be a massive thing. Do you know, just because it's not an issue for yourself, personally. Like, I think it's really important for you to take every issue as it comes. Yeah, exactly. And this, is,
Claire, on the flip side of that, what would you say is the negative? That's a positive for you, like why you did it. But what do you find, like in the last year and a half that you've been there, what's the negative that springs to mind?
In terms of
whatever springs to mind. What's difficult? What's just a bad side of the job? Whichever comes to mind.
I think it's fighting the prison system in general. But everyone will say that because I'm not employed by the prison system.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a nurse. I'm governed by a professional body.
Yeah.
So and I've got care and compassion, and I think that lacks in a lot of areas within the prison system because their job is totally different from what I do. Right,
just for our listeners who wouldn't understand the prison system, can you expand on that a bit?
I don't know. I think it's a minefield, isn't it? Really, it really is a minefield because like we could say something from a healthcare point of view, what we could recommend, and the prison will just say no, and that's it. As simple as that. You can't fight against HMPs, and you can't. And I think I'm still realised that since I've been there. You know, but I will try my hardest to give people what they deserve and what they need and what they require because I think it's important.
Has that ever got you down?
I don't think it gets you down. It gets frustrating because obviously I think sometimes in my head I think sometimes we're setting people up to fail when we don't really need to. Especially within a category D environment.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
You know, in my mind, category D, we need to reintegrate into communities, we want to maintain family ties. That's all important to everything. Whether or not you've got kids, whether or not you've got a family, you still need to be out there working, going out, you know, accessing models, on town visits, getting ready. You know, some people have been in jail for a long time. You know, it's that reintegration because life has changed. Life is massive over there. Things have changed, you know, crises in everywhere. Cost of living, bills, you know, it's important and I think it does definitely get frustrated.
Do you feel there's enough help and support regarding mental health in prisons?
I think, I can't speak for anywhere else, but I think where we are, I do think the team is fantastic. Like we do help a lot of people considering we've got a small team and it's quite a large prison for the amount of non-staff that we have, if that makes any sort of sense.
How many members have you got?
Well, we've got 2 members of staff for mental health, but they are fantastic. Like they literally run the show. I wouldn't have any issues going to speak to them about anything, any queries. Nothing is too much, nothing is too less. They really are good. And up at Warren Hill, we've got an LD nurse. And we've got the consultant psychiatrist as well. He comes in. I think we're very lucky to have him on board.
What's an LD nurse for our listeners?
A learning disability nurse.
Okay,
she deals with learning disabilities, autism, people with sensory issues. But we don't really deal with a lot of Warren Hill for the minute because we kind of split our care between 2 sites and the focus is very much on Hoseley Bay.
If you could ask for any more help on top of Aaron's question, what would you, in an ideal world, what would it be?
Personally, I was just talking to Anna about this, that I do actually think that we should get the listeners and the mental health ambassadors involved a lot more with the mental health side. But this was discussed when we come to the awards ceremony. We did actually discuss this about getting you guys all on board a little bit more because I know can I speak about someone that I know?
You can speak about anything you feel
Luke Brown.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he still does work for My Life, which is fantastic. Yeah. Like I know that we've done a lot of referrals through Luke. And I know a lot of people would rather go and speak to a peer than they would to healthcare, just in case they got kind of in trouble.
But why do you think people would rather speak to
You've lived through the same things.
Yeah, and so if we use Hollesby Bay because where we're from.
Yeah.
So if we talk about Hollesby Bay, do you think the staff there, not the mental health team or the nurses or the healthcare team, do you think the staff do enough for people that are struggling there? Do you think they cause a lot more issues than...
I can't really... I'm probably the wrong person to ask because I kind of keep myself to myself in healthcare. Like I do think they could probably do more. I know there's a lot of, I've been to a few situations where we've had to attend act reviews and stuff like that. I think they're really quick on opening acts with people, which is really good because they notice the person in distress. But I can't really speak for everyone. The other staff could probably do with a lot more training, but couldn't everyone?
Yeah.
Especially in terms of mental health and the needs.
Do you think the staff, or some of the staff, or some of the governors should be trained in mental health and be mental health ambassadors?
Yeah, of course. I actually agree with that. Yeah. And I think Anna would nod her head over in the corner there, even though she's hiding. I definitely agree. I don't think it's any harm for anyone to be trained in there. You know, we've just, you know, we're in a mental health crisis. So I think it's really important for everyone to have some sort of education.
Of course.
And know where to refer or who to go for advice.
Go on. Just what do you enjoy about your job?
I
know these are a bit on the spot questions.
It is, yeah. No, I just enjoy everything.
Yeah, all aspects of it.
Obviously I've had days, and maybe once a week I want to leave the job.
Yeah, natural working there.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you can name 3 things you like about the job, what would be your 3 positives that you can say, do you know what?
I think it's actually the people that I look after, believe it or not.
That's one.
Like, yeah, no, it is. Honestly, I think you do definitely make the job a lot easier and a lot better for everyone in healthcare, really. What else do I like? The food.
Yeah, you like the food. You definitely don't get the food, really.
I don't know, because every day is different. Every day is different. So it's not as challenging as A&E, but it's got its different challenges.
Okay.
Yeah.
What makes you angry about it?
What makes you angry? Fighting the prison system as a whole all the time.
Yeah,
because there's things that you can't change.
Do you think it's a battle every single day that you're battling against them?
Of course, but that's in every aspect. That's to do with single cells, medical diets, everything. Trying to fight for things that people deserve. But like some people, I love the mindset that you do deserve things, and other people are like, well, actually, no, they don't. Because they are still prisoners.
Of course.
On that note about single cells, what do you think could be done to improve the prison system from your point of view, just regarding the whole mental health side of it? What do you have any ideas what could improve it?
I think just making the place a more resilient place in terms of talking, like open door policies, you know, and letting people know it's all right to talk. With single cells, you're never going to change that in a whole debate, unfortunately.
But that's what we're trying to do. That's why we're bringing mental health ambassadors into prison to help people to talk. So what do you think, as soon as people come to reception at any prison, do you think that a mental health ambassador should be at reception?
Do you know what I think? Do you know what I think? That's a great shout, you know, because I know speaking recently, there has been a few death in custodies from mental health breakdowns.
And there always is. It's a continuing thing.
They should have been highlighted in the reception screening. However, like you know yourself, you can never determine whether somebody's going to go and commit suicide, unfortunately. However, that is actually great. It's a really good shout, to be fair.
Just having a meet and greet with a mental health ambassador that can signpost them to places. And the thing is
that, because obviously the governor comes up and, you know, the governor comes up and speaks to all the new receptions, gives them all the rules, you know, what you can't do, what they like to see from you guys. It would be great to combine that with somebody from a lot of my life, definitely. And if that's something that you want to push forward, I would be more than happy come and do a case to the governors, definitely.
So I think about that. That'd be good, I think.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's a really good, especially now. You need to strike while the iron's hot because all the deaths and custodies are all in the news at the minute.
Yeah, but they've been going on. It's just when they choose to get put in the media.
So it's definitely something to consider. I think it would work really well because it's a big adjustment coming to Catty as well.
How?
Just because of the changes.
I thought you said there's big...
It's a big adjustment. 100%. Some people can't cope with it, you know?
Especially those that have been in for a long time.
For a long time.
Yeah,
you know, there's people walking around, there's cars everywhere, you don't really have to lock, you know, up in reception, none of the doors are locked. You know, is there like a kind of free-for-all?
Yeah.
You've got orderlies everywhere.
It's true. Do you think people abscond from DCATs through and because of mental health?
I think it definitely has a massive factor. Yeah, definitely.
Do you think that could be changed?
I think there's a lot of factors though, and then you have to think of why people are not getting boarded quick enough.
So do you think having a mental health ambassador on reception to, as I say, signpost them, look, if you're struggling, go and see you.
And to give them real life advice.
Yeah.
Like, this is how it is. You might have to wait to be boarded for a little while, because yourself, some people can wait 6-7 months, some maybe longer, and that does people's heads in. Seeing people go on bottles and outside work and they can't do it must be depressing.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's a horrible feeling. So I think having a mental health ambassador on reception screens would be fantastic, and I think Jim would possibly agree with it, because I know Jim has had a lot to do with reception screenings in the past from previous prisons as a mental health nurse, because they did used to do them, the screens. Okay. Mental health nurses.
So onto your job.
My job.
Onto your job. When you have a bad day, what do you do? How do you tackle your bad day?
How do I tackle my bad day? Eat. I just go to gym, listen to music.
So so if you have a bad day where you work, do you ever take it home and think, what if I could have done this?
Or have you got the ability to...
Do you know what? Sometimes you do in certain situations, but that's normally in emergency situations where you're always constantly... But I think that's just a nurse thing. You think, right, next time we could have done that a bit quicker, or we could have done that blood pressure a little bit quicker, or something like that. However, if it's something at work, I just reach out to the guys, because they're really good.
Is that what your team do?
Yeah, we do. Some of us do. Some of us do it better than others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you looking at Anna there?
So do you think
get support? I am.
So do you think communication plays a big part in where you work, in your department?
Yeah, you have to, don't you? You have to communicate. It doesn't always work though, does it? There's flaws everywhere you go.
Claire, just for our listeners, I'm sure I speak for Aaron as well. You seem like a bubbly person.
I do.
Fitted to the job. Tell us a bit about yourself. As much as you feel comfortable, family, like how you got into nursing, just a bit about yourself, who Claire is.
Well, I fell into nursing. I didn't really want to do it. There was this other time, I'm from the valleys in Wales, there was no jobs around, so I kind of just got a job in a care room, looking after dementia patients and patients with Alzheimer's, and just went from there really. So I worked in surgery, A&E, worked on medical wards, and I thought, with the prisoners, but I come from a family full of addicts.
Yeah.
So the IDTS role is kind of perfect for me, because I can understand from a personal level a lot of issues that people go through.
On that topic, how did that affect you? Because we've all got family members, we've all got personal histories. How did coming from a family with addicts in it affect you then and going forward in life?
I think it's always going to have some sort of effect on anyone, that is. But it makes me understand my job a lot better. It makes me more understanding, and I can be really proud of that personally.
Definitely.
Like, I can bring myself to other people's levels. I can share the same experiences. I can advise on what to do. I don't always get it right, but I can kind of guide people to the right places and paths.
So you're kind of like us, really. So like...
I could have gone down a different path, Aaron. I've come from, like I said, my family was my family, but I could have easily chosen the wrong path.
Gone down the left side.
Do you know what I mean?
So you're kind of like us in the sense of you understand it. So like when people, it's like we go back to members of staff in prisons, they don't understand it because they haven't been through it. So speaking to yourself with your upbringing and what you've gone through, you understand when people come to you that's been on drugs. You, like you said, you know where to send them, how to talk to them, etc. So, but
obviously support them when things go wrong, because you don't need to be judged. They're already judged all the time. Yeah. It's just having that support network, because probably the same as mental health, really. Because substance misuse does carry a lot of mental health issues. It's a combination. It's dual. It always has been, but just to make sure that it's all right for people to be angry, it's all right, emotion-wise. It's all right to have certain emotions. It's normal to have certain emotions. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. Like, if you've made a mistake, fine.
It's life.
Work from it. Make sure you don't try not to do it again.
On the back of that, Claire, have you had any dark moments in your personal life?
not really. I'm quite a positive person, Richard, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, it
Probably a bit
comes
too
across.
positive.
It comes across.
But I can bring myself down to a person's level. I'm not always this happy. If I need to be a little bit more professional, I will be. But I think people like someone to be positive. I think that's good 100%. For some people.
But you see yourself, are you, and don't take this the wrong way,
too positive for prison?
No. So like, I go to prisoners. As soon as that door opens, you're bubbly. As soon as that door locks, you're just...
Oh no, I have bad days. I have bad days, same as everyone else. Of course I do. That's normal, isn't it? I'm not happy all the time. Like I said to somebody earlier on, I'm crying inside, mate.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's just life, isn't it? You think to yourself, you're like just certain things. Birthday's coming up. My nan's just passed away.
Sorry,
it's just little things like that. It's not always positivity and little Miss Sunshine.
But how do you deal with that? Let's say our listeners think, I wish I could be like her, because we're all different. You're positive, bubbly, but on those times when you say you feel like crying inside, how do you? What gets you through?
I reach out and talk to my friends. Like I've moved around all the UK, so I know what it's like to not have a support network around me, but I know to reach out to the friends that are all dotted around everywhere. I know if I'm having a rubbish day about like kids, I know who to speak to. If I'm having rubbish time about my family, I know who to speak to. There's a friend for everything. I think.
Of course there is, but it's difficult with. So you have that department, so that kind of thing, so you know who to. You're not going to be judged.
Yeah.
But with prisoners, it's hard to go and talk to someone because you think, I'm going to go and speak to
them. So how are you going to break that barriers then?
And it's trust as well, isn't it?
Barriers
how am I?
Within prison.
Unlock My Life are going to provide mental health ambassadors, peer supporters, and we're going to open something in the prison where if you want to have a chat with them.
I think it would work fantastically. Like I really, really do, and I know for a fact Jim would really, really massively support this.
Yeah. And
I definitely support anything you want to do at the prison.
No, that's good. Yeah. That's good to know.
Claire, on a lighter note, do you you seem like this type of person who's got a favourite saying or something that you live by? No? Am I getting it completely wrong here? Have you got a favourite saying?
Changes every day, Mitch.
Yeah? What's one of them?
Today's a blessed day.
What's today's one?
A blessed day.
Blessed day?
Why, is that because early finish?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Is there anything you, looking back on this quick time, 20 minutes, 25, is there any question that you thought we'd ask or wish we did ask?
No, I think you covered everything. You kept it professional. You've asked a couple of personal things, and I think that's important because it does open out to your listeners, hopefully. And obviously you guys there in the mix, right? You know what it's like. I can give my perspective, but I don't know what it's like from your point of view. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's really important for this to be encouraged not only by primary care and healthcare, by the prison as well. I do think they should be doing so much more.
You've kind of answered my last question. Yeah. What word of advice would you give to our listeners, anyone suffering with mental health?
Or any kind of mental illness? What would you give advice?
I just think that reach out to anyone, even if it's something so small, something so trivial. There's always someone out there that can advise you or guide you and send you on the right way, on the right track. As hard as it is.
Just finding that person.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. It's important, that's one of the reasons why people commit suicide, isn't it? They feel as if they haven't got nobody to speak to, and I think that's really sad. That they think that they haven't got that one person that they can go and confide in. And I just think, just find that one person that they'll bring you back on the straight and narrow, give you that good advice, send you to the right area, because you're not going to know everything. It's just life, but at least you can guide people.
It's true. Do you believe everybody deserves a chance?
Of course, I wouldn't be where I was if I didn't.
It's true.
Yeah, we're not here to judge people. I'm certainly not, anyway.
Claire, thank you.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure having you on.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening. You've been listening to the Mental Health and Justice podcast. We'll see you next week.